Hi everybody, it's me, Laura. Namaste, and welcome to my video about aura colors. I've been doing so much work lately, posting articles and posting channeled angel messages for everybody to learn and read from, that I've finally got myself a nice little break to rest and rejuvenate. But before I took it down, I wanted to be sure to post this video because I haven't done one on this particular subject yet, except for the indigos and the rainbows and the crystals. So let me get right into it so that I can go and get myself all rejuvenated up to be able to put more information out there for you all in your journey towards total spirituality. Okay, so the aura, as you all may already know, is the electromagnetic energy that surrounds a person and every object in existence. And this is also known as the etheric body and the spirit body or the light body. It could go by any one of those three names. And this is like your very own personal wavelength of existence. This is your vibration, and it has 7 layers to it. And all of these layers will determine certain aspects of yourself. Like there's the physical spiritual body, and then you have the emotional spiritual body, the vital spirit body. Then there's lower mental and higher mental, and then the spirit body itself. So in order to determine personality traits of different people that you might come across, you have to know the different colors and what they mean and how to apply them in the different areas of the aura so that you can know exactly what's going on with that person. For example, like a person that had red in their mental aura body, that would kind of tell you that that person is very passionate in whatever it is that they're thinking about. Let's say that they might have had yellow in the physical layer of the aura. That would say that they're a leader and they're very passionate about what they're thinking about doing in regards to leadership. So you see how that all kind of works out? So knowing the aura colors and knowing where the specific layers are helps you to be able to read into people. It's kind of like a psychic ability, really. If you're able to see an auric body or aura, that means that you have 5th dimensional vision. That's a very wonderful trait to have, and it's a psychic ability in itself, like I had just said. This means that you have psychic vision. Excuse me, I'm still suffering from those drastic allergies. Okay, so that means you have psychic vision and that you're seeing on a higher vibration. And if you can do that, you'll be able to read exactly what's going on with a person presently without them having to tell you. And it's very hard to see auras. Most people can only see the first 2 layers. And it takes like a master psychic or somebody that's enlightened to be able to see from the layers of 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. If you can get past the 2nd or 3rd layer, you will find that you have a lot of trouble getting to see the 7th. This is almost literally impossible for anybody to see, and you should be a highly evolved spiritual being to be able to do this. And it's really important to be able to see that last layer because that's the spirit body itself, that's the higher self. And in order to know what kind of person you're dealing with deep down, you should be able to read that color in that layer. So let me just go ahead and get started on telling you all of the different colors, and I hope I don't forget anything and leave it out. I did do a video about this subject on Blogspot. You can go to laurascene.blogspot.com in my guide for spirituality and see all of the different articles that I've written so far, especially the one about the information I'm presenting to you tonight. I'll also include another link for another wonderful website, not written by me, that you can check out that kind of goes into this topic quite extensively. So let's start, and I'm going to begin with the color red. This is the lowest vibration. Violet is the highest because it's the fastest. Red is somebody that's very passionate, somebody that's somewhat overindulgent, very passive, and they don't really like to give in. They're very strong in what they stand for. Red aura colors, they can have like an intuitive type of ability. I've heard of it before, but I feel like the blues and the purples are a little bit more on the psychic side. But I'm not going to rule out red or any of the other colors. I just have seen in my career that the purples and the blues have more of the psychic abilities. So red is just saying that they're very self-satisfying. These are people that are kind of self-centered in the things that they do. So when you see somebody with the color red in their aura, and whichever layer it's in, you'll know exactly where they're very firm and very self-centered over. Okay, so orange, that usually indicates somebody that's very active in their life, very energetic, somebody that's generally very happy, and they're usually very peaceful people. Yellow is somebody that's a leader, they're confident and very positive all the time. Then you go to green, and the green colored auras are people that have the ability to heal naturally. They're born with it if they continue to maintenance their green aura, because the aura can change color at any time, actually, depending on what the thought is and the emotion is and what the action is. It has to do with everything that's going on in your life at the time, what makes up you. Greens are usually very much loving of nature, thus the color green, because green resonates with, the earth. Blue is intuitive, they're deep thinkers. These are people that are usually very quiet and laid back, very spiritual, very sensitive on the inside, but they don't express it verbally. Purples are a regal personality. They're very psychic, and they also have a bit of a philosopher in them. They like to think and analyze and read into things a lot. And this is where they get most of their intuition. They draw on whatever wisdom that they get, and they use that with the feeling that they have within to be able to determine exactly what's going on in a situation. And what that's called is the gift of discernment. So we can say that people that have a purple aura have the gift of discernment. You'll know where they have discernment at by where the position of the color purple is in the auric layers. Pink is somebody that's nurturing, compassionate, and very loving. They're usually a little bit insecure and struggle with self-esteem issues, but depending on the strength of the color, whether it's a light pink or a dark pink, that doesn't always apply. The darker colors will signify somebody that's very strong in their self-confidence, as the lighter pinks will kind of say, hey, they're feeling a bit down about themselves. So the brighter shades of the colors, like I just said, will symbolize a stronger vibration in those particular traits. And then the muddier colors, or the more cloudier colors, are the ones that will show more weakness in them. Like, for an example, somebody that has a yellow aura, let's say it's a bit cloudy of a yellow color, that would mean that they're very weak in their leadership skills. But somebody that had a brighter yellow color would mean that they're very strong in those qualities. So knowing exactly how dark or how light the colors are in the auras also helps. Special auras, I might have covered these before in another video, are the indigos, the rainbows, and the crystals. And the indigos are very powerful people. They have they have a high intuition, and they have a lot of psychic ability. They have the power to manipulate energy. They're very empathic and usually very magical. And the people that are born with a indigo aura color were usually born from 1980 and on. There's been few cases where they were born before then, but a lot of the time they've come into the 1980s. The rainbow colors, that is somebody that is a star child, somebody that's a light worker. They have the power over energy, and they're a natural born healer, just like the greens, but they can do this in all different types of ways. with the greens, they only have like one specific way that they go about healing, and they may not even know it. But rainbow children, they're born having this, knowing that they're special and they're different and that they have these great qualities and abilities. That goes the same for the indigo as well. They're born knowing exactly who and what they are. Crystals are the indigo children, or rainbow children, I'd like to say. I know that some may not agree with me on that, but I believe that it's both of those aura colors that have transitioned into pure crystalline energy. And this is when they've become enlightened and fully developed all of their powers and psychic abilities and gained all kinds of knowledge and wisdom, that they have ascended. So there's some other colors to the auras too. Like we have gray, which would kind of tell you that somebody had a hidden agenda, or that they were sick or suffered from depression. Black auras, I like to stay away from the black auras if I can, but being an incarnate angel and also a healer, I feel like I can help those people that have those darker colored auras to change, because black actually symbolizes somebody that's a bit malevolent, somebody that has very dark thoughts. And in order for that person to change, they have to have some light shined into that darkness. So that's exactly what the star children, the rainbow auras, and the incarnate angels, and the indigo auras, and the light workers, that's what we're all here for, to transmute that darkness with light. So even though the black auras can be a bit scary and overwhelming to deal with, as a spiritual being, we have to try to do our best to help them. So white would symbolize somebody that's an incarnated angel. They're all-knowing, they're psychic, they have the ability to heal, they attune to spirit very well, they have a universal consciousness. And then there's the silver auras, and this is like the incarnated elementals, the Fae, that have come to Earth to have a life experience. Gold means that they were an incarnated ascended master or a teacher, or that they're enlightened. So if you see white sparkles in somebody's aura, that will indicate that they have spirit guides with them, or that they have fairies or guardian angels as well. If you ever see any kind of gold sparkle in an aura, that will usually tell you that they have divine protection. Just like if you see black spots, that means that they have holes in their aura, or that they're suffering from some kind of an illness, or an auric attachment, or some kind of karmic debt. And none of those are ever good. So if you can see the aura and have the ability to heal, please help that person to get rid of all of that auric junk. So a rainbow bridge is somebody that can channel spirit. They have a connection to the spirit realm. And you'll usually see that as just like a little rainbow ray sticking right out of their aura. So that's basically all of the, aura colors. If you could follow me, I know I went a bit quick, but that's exactly the rainbow rays. That's what they are, and that's what they symbolize. And like I said, there's another great website that explains all of the different colors, from the muddier versions of the color to the brighter versions of the color, to give you better insight. But I'm sure that if you take my guide and you apply it, and you know that the cloudier equals not so strong, and that the brighter means very strong, you'll be able to determine for yourself. So I wanted to go over a quick thing that I thought was important. If you see colors in your aura that don't belong there, you may not even be the color aura that you thought you were. Now this happened to me. This is my experience. I went through life thinking that I was an indigo child, and I would see indigo all the time, and this has happened all the way up until recently. And I didn't know that I had transitioned into a crystal aura. And a couple of times I went to go check my aura, and I saw some really crazy colors, and I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, what happened to my aura? Because I haven't really changed that much. I am who I am, and I've always been this way. And usually I vibrate on the same vibration, very positive, very loving, very peace-loving, and I have reached enlightenment with all of my knowledge and wisdom. So I couldn't understand these changes in my aura. And what I found out was that somebody that has a crystal aura, or that has transitioned into a crystal, they will kind of like suck up the different energy colors from their surroundings, and it'll fill up that crystalline structure around them, kind of like a chameleon blends in with the environment. That's exactly what the crystals are doing. So that's what I found out about myself, and I thought that would be useful for some of you out there that might be having the same problem. I had teal, and I had bright pink, and then I had red, and I said, oh, I'm not aggressive or overindulging. I know that not all reds are aggressive, but some of them are aggressive in the way that they feel about something or the way that they think about something. So that's what I meant, and I want to clear that up because I don't want anybody taking offense. So I was seeing these different colors, and I was getting a little bit confused, and I went and I looked into it, and I talked to my angelic guides, and I asked them, and he said, why is my aura so many different colors now? Because it almost looked like a rainbow aura, and I wasn't born after the year 2000. I'm a 1980s baby. So I had been indigo all my life, and then there it was. So my angelic guide told me, you are now a crystal aura, and that explained a lot of the different physical, mental, and emotional symptoms that I had going on. So if you've been going through a lot of changes in the way that you feel, in your vibration, and you notice these different colors in your aura, this may have meant that you have transitioned into a crystalline aura, especially if you were an indigo child beforehand. So that is my video on aura colors. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know, this is really cool. If you all have somebody that you're totally in love with, and somebody that you share a bond with that's really strong, you might actually notice when you see an aura that their image of their loved one is right there in the aura with them. And this is like an imprint of that person within the person's energy field, because if you have a special bond with somebody, you're going to share energy so much that you become linked, and that person will be able to telepathically be there with you and energetically. So if you ever see like a face pop up in your aura or somebody else's, just know that that could be your loved one. It can also be your spirit guide as well. So don't be alarmed if you see faces in your auras, and always remember when you do that spirit doesn't manifest like we do. They have a higher vibration, so their features are going to be a bit different and a bit distorted, and it might be a little bit frightening, but don't let it get you down. Fear is a negative emotion, and it holds people back in their process of life and spirituality. So just keep in mind that it could be something very positive rather than negative, and embrace it. And you'll see, for sure that you have a lot of spiritual help with you when you see these faces appear. Another thing before I go really fast is, please guys, make sure that you sage your auras twice a day. The society and the atmosphere is so negative, and you don't want it to affect you. And also, a real quick tip for shielding out the energy of other people is all you have to do is just imagine a bubble around you when you go out in public, and this will protect you. It really will, because whatever you think, you manifest, and the power of your mind is so strong. So I hope that you all have a blessed night, and I thank you for watching. And I'm now up to 101 subscribers, so I thank you all for my new subscribers, and I ask anybody that's watching this video that hasn't subscribed to please subscribe, and also check out my other websites. You can find me in the links that I have below, and you can also check me out on Facebook and Google+. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I love you all, and namaste.